Hello and welcome to Tara's Daily Insight and the Open Door. I am Mitchell, your intuitive messenger, your psychic medium, intuitive soul coach, spiritual teacher, and soulful caffeine. Welcome to today's edition of the Open Door and Tara's Daily Insight. I want to set the intention for you and for me that we would resonate, operate, and vibrate in the highest possible frequency of divine love that we can today, and that we would be in alignment and in harmony with our true, authentic self and with Source. I also want to set the intention that we would receive healing, guidance, and confirmation in whatever way, shape, or form that we need, want, or desire today. So all that being said, I say, and so it is. So thank you again. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into the cards. I do want to say my website is right here, www.intuitivemessenger.org, where you can see my Team Spirit daily post. You can see the services that I offer, even in animal communication, YouTube tarot readings, as well as Skype and phone sessions. So jump over there and check that out. And our card for today is going to be the Ten of Swords. Or for you Family Guy fans, Ten of Swords. Swords. So pulling the Ten of Swords in, and as you can see, first of all, the number here is a 10, which boils down to a number 1. So I get the feeling when I see a 10, especially in tarot, it's like, can we bring this to an ending? But it also is a number 1. It has the ability to like kind of begin again. So I personally get kind of a mixed message numerically in the realm of numerology that, oh, it's starting up again, but it's also like the end of it. So as you can see, there's a lot of purple wrapped around this guy, which makes me feel like, you know, the higher crown chakra, or even the third eye. So there's a lot of spiritual torment going on here. The swords are things that are logical, of the mind. Often people who resonate with the swords are very, they're accountants, they're lawyers, things like that. They're very logical in the thought process. Swords are the element air. And as you can see, when I read, if this card comes up, there's definitely some turmoil, some conflict going on here. I usually will say it's self-inflicted, because it's almost like he just get up from this bed of swords that are being thrust into his back. It also has an eerie image of almost like a Christ image as well, almost like there's a crown on his head of thorns type of a thing. But so very, this card is full of images and kind of torment, if you will. So the message for today, yeah, it's very clear. More of the pain, anguish, guilt, and shame that you experience is almost 100% your problem. You've opened the door. You keep inflicting it on yourself. Someone said one thing and you keep mulling it over and over and over again and again. Childhood example for me is, you know, my older brother was just very verbally abusive to me because I was a very fat kid, etc., etc. So he called me lots of names. Well, one day he stopped calling me the names, but I kept repeating those names and things in my head whenever I looked in the mirror. So I continued the abuse. Until one day I realized it, and I can stop. I can say now, easily walking by a mirror, 99% of the time I can look in the mirror and know how much I love myself. But it took a long time to get there. Love all of myself, every bit of whatever. You know, I love my gray hair. I can't even say I don't like my wrinkles. I can't even say I don't like my weight, because those are things that I used to not like, but now have embraced and love, and realize they're there for a reason. I have set all these things up for whatever path that I am choosing and have chosen. So love yourself today. Release the pain, the shame, any anguish, any conflict that is out there. I'll be so bold as to say it. You are choosing it. You are bringing that on, because we are creators of our existence. And most of this is your choosing, whether you want to admit it or not. And if you are recoiling right now and want to say, but that is your ego wanting to make excuses for taking responsibility. So tough love today. Sorry about that, guys. Nope, no apologies. I felt I needed to say it. So anyway, I'm going to shift into the open door now. I will see you on the other side. Hello again, and thank you for staying tuned in. This is the open door, and I am Mitchell. I do want to say someone shot me an email this morning confirming the fires in LA and Los Angeles, California that Team Spirit was talking about yesterday. So I'm glad I got the confirmation, but I want us all to continue to send, love and light and lift the vibration as high as we can out to that area. Personally, I've experienced devastating fire many, many years ago in 1976. My entire family, well, not the entire, but the majority of my family's business burned down. So it's a tough thing to go through. But looking back on that, it was something that changed the direction of our family and our lives. And it was, we let it expand us rather than limit us. I will say that. So thank you, Tricia, for sending in that information, confirming that. And I did look it up real quick, and it was in the LA Times for last night. I wrote down like 2 notes, one the fire, and then the other thing. Yesterday, and I know many of you have expressed this, and I'm going to speak from my personal experience about how I've been feeling lately too. I don't, and this is just me. If something in here resonates with me, go for it, because I'm being told to say that because this is not going to be for everybody. Because most of my personal growth is a lot of what everybody's experiencing right now. And when I say most of that was many, many years ago. I feel like for me, living in a closet, living in a small town, not really speaking my voice growing up, I always used to say I've been through so much emotional pain, that the physical pain in this world is nothing compared to the emotional pain. Many of you will agree with that. And, here I am once again kind of coming out of a second closet as a psychic and a medium. And so it's been an incredible journey, and I'm glad that I am evolved, enlightened, and mature enough to work through it this time this way. Many of you will probably go, I hear you, Mitch. I've been through many years of therapy, trying to figure simple things out and getting more complicated things taken care of. I say all that because yesterday I'm driving to work and I just felt an overwhelming sadness. And I know many of you, when you feel an overwhelming sadness, you talk about it, you post about it, you look outside yourself to try to appease it, change it, figure it out, share it, get comfort, get peace outside of it. For me, not for everybody. But the way I work, when a situation hits me, like feeling overwhelming sadness, I stop, I take a breath. I don't immediately share it with people. I turn inward and ask my guides, my higher self, what's going on? Is this mine? Do I own this? Is this somebody else's that I'm pulling on, holding on to, attracting? Have I been influenced by a TV show, by a song, by food? And that's where I'm going with this. What has made this come on? Where is this coming from? And it's a gazillion questions going on in my mind. So as I'm driving to work, and I had other meetings, and the funny thing was I knew the moment I got to work, it would become enough distractions that I would be fine, and I did. The moment I got to work, I was laughing and joking and having a good car, no music on. And it's funny because I started singing, "Hello, Sadness, My Old Friend." I think that's a song. But I stopped and I tried to listen to all the things I ever teach and talk about, and that Team Spirit has taught me as well. And I just said, all right, I'm going to allow this sadness to come to me, to wash over me. I'm going to embrace it. It's part of me. It's like a little tapping on the shoulder going, something's not right. It's me here talking to you. So I turned inward, and messages that I got back were, because there were several, and that is, it's not going to last very long. First of all, it's not going to last long. Second of all, there are chemicals in my body to get rid of. Last Friday, had a bunch of birthday cake, and I love cake, but I know that it's got so many chemicals in it that my body doesn't know how to process. It's just high sugar. Boy, it was good when I ate it, but and it takes a couple days to get out of my system. Over the weekend, because it went from Friday to Saturday, choosing, fried French fries on one dinner plate with a salad, nice combination. But I hit 3 days in a row where the food was heavy. Friday night was even Asian food, Chinese food, which again, heavy sodium, heavy salt, MSG maybe. So it was like so many days right in a row, and I knew that I had to process this stuff out of my system. Because then, as I'm sitting on the couch at night watching TV with Fabian, this is our time and my downtime from a busy days, I could tell I was still hungry. My body still wanted more. And typically I don't have those overwhelming urges and cravings that I get up and go grab a bag of potato chips. Well, it was popcorn with cinnamon and more stuff. So it was like 4 days in a row that I just ate foods that most people wouldn't react to, but because my system is rather clean, it reacted to, and I knew I needed to get out. So yesterday, ate very healthy, taught an excellent body step class last night, was exhausted, and came home, made sure I drank plenty of water, did not overeat dinner, and slept really good this morning. I feel amazing and wonderful. So all of that being said, I want to encourage you, the bottom line here, when you feel different, something's out of the ordinary, turn inward first, because you have all you need. You've always had it inside you, Harry Potter. You are a magician. So turn inside, start connecting to your higher self. We immediately want to turn to our friends and Facebook and social media and say, I'm on a tough love day, and say, woe is me, somebody help me, send me love and light. And I believe that's important. But, check your intention behind that and check it. I know the moment I'm posting something to get attention, to draw something to me, it's like, just to mask a little bit of the pain. But yesterday, it was a perfect example for me to put my money where my mouth is and walk through that pain. And I just drove in silence, and I let the sadness wash over and through me. And it didn't go away right away. I knew once I got to work, I would be better. But I purposely had, a good almost hour driving to 2 locations where I sat there and let that sadness just wash over through me. I owned it. I accepted it. I embraced it because it was part of me. Just like when someone, what I recoil too is when I see people who are saying like, F cancer and all this nasty stuff. And I recoil because, as difficult as cancer is, and my only personal experience with it, other than grandparents, is on my ear having something removed, and dealing with that and wondering what it was and waiting for, the biopsy, which it was nothing, it was just skin cancer. But it's a part of me. We all have the cancer stuff in us. It's how our body adjusts. That's when it takes over. And I believe most of it is emotional and is there to either limit us or expand us or teach us something or help just drop us down. And I know that's going to hit a raw chord for a lot of people, and that's why I want to say my only experience with cancer is what I told you about. So where I was going with this in my mind, I know I'm on my grandmother now. She's like tapping through to me because she was the one who dealt with it, chemo, et cetera, but it is. Can you see I've totally lost my train of thought? That's interesting. Okay, I'll get to you later, Grandma. Grandma Jane. So, but yeah, she's not gonna let this one go because what I'm afraid to say is cancer is a billion-dollar industry, and why would there be cures found for things like this? So I think it's we have to take care of ourselves. We have to love ourselves, even that part of us that's eating us alive. So embrace every bit of who you are, all the wrinkles, all the lack of hair, all the extra weight. Love it, love it, love it. That is the message for today. Went on really long today, and I'm going to end right there. Thank you for listening, and I will chat with you guys tomorrow.